Hi everyone. Today I'll introduce a new Excel function called GROUPBY. It lets you summarize data with a formula instead of using a pivot table. This function is available in the newer Microsoft 365 versions of Excel, so if you are using the older versions, you may not see it yet. Let's see how it works using a simple student score dataset. So this is the dummy students dataset. As we can see, we can group by the faculty and get the average score for each faculty, or we can also group by program and get the average score of each program. The structure is very simple. You start with typing group by, and then the first parameter here is the group by column. In this case, I will select the column B up to the end of the data. We can see here there's the header, but it doesn't really matter here because later on when we select the second parameter, which is the scores in this case, or the values that we want to calculate, we select D1 up to the end of the data. We see here the first row is faculty that corresponds to score, and that is not numeric, so Excel will just ignore it. And then let's put in the third parameter, which is the aggregate function. Normally in this case we will choose average, or you can also choose minimum or maximum depending on your need. So let's press enter on this and you'll get the group data already. Normally in the previous Excel versions, you have to use the pivot table. Let's move on to the second example. We can use group by with two group columns. In this case, I will select the faculty and program like so. And then the values is still the score. And then we can calculate the average also. Press enter. Now depending on the nature of your data, you can also group by just the program column, but if the program column is hierarchically under faculty, then you might choose both. Now that is all the basics of group by. I will show you certain variations of this. The first one is if you want to select multiple columns, but the columns are not side by side with each other. Let's say there's faculty and there's program, and somewhere in between them, there are other columns. I don't know what could that be. Let's just say other. So there will be other columns in here. So how are you going to merge the column faculty and program together so they can become the group by column? Let's do group by again. And normally in group by, the first parameter is the range of the group columns. So if we select like so, from B until D, it becomes wrong already. We can use another function called HSTACK, and then we put the first column in here, and then just put comma, and then put the second column here. In a sense, the HSTACK will group them together into single range. And close it with the parenthesis, and then moving on to the second parameter of group by itself, which is the score. We will do the same, and then we do average also. So we get the same thing, but now the column B and D are separated. Now let's move on to the third variation of how to use this function. So when you are dealing with an important data on Excel, normally you will give a name to the table. So in this case, I will highlight the whole student's data here and press Ctrl T. Make sure there is my table has headers, because indeed it is. Press OK, and then it becomes a table. We want to give this table a proper name. Let's open this toolbar for now. And then under the table design, you're going to give this table a name, which is on the table design tab, and give it the name like students data. And then the same thing you can do group by, but now we are going to use the name of the table, which is students data, and we are going to select the columns, which is in this case, it will be faculty. Oops. And then the value columns will be students data and score. And then the same thing, we are going to use average. This works well. And what is great about it is when you add more data in here, let's say we add a new student here, let's say Adam, and then under engineering, and then we put him under information systems as well. And let's put a very big score so that we can see that the result will be distorted. So we see here under engineering, Adam is already included. And this is because when you add more rows in the table, it will be automatically included as part of the table. So that's what's great about it. Okay, let's just delete this other column. So it's actually the same thing. You can use HSTACK as well, horizontal stack, or you can also, if the columns are adjacent to each other like faculty and program, you're going to do it like this: students data, and then create a square bracket here, and then put another square bracket, do faculty, and then colon program, and then closing square bracket, and there you go, you are selecting multiple columns. And then the same thing here, students data for the score, 8 is the average. Yep, so there you go, you'll get it. That's all I have for you. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.